area. It's 1/2 times the height times by the base 1 plus base 2. And our height, just like our other ones, is still the perpendicular distance. Remember, perpendicular is the 90-degree angle that it creates between two lines between bases. So let's use this formula to find the area of this trapezoid. So we have that the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. So if we take a look, our height is here because it forms a 90-degree angle between the two bases that we have. So we have area equals 1/2 times 12.8 times by 30.8 plus 20.8. So if we add those together, we have area equals 1/2 times 12.8. 30.8 plus 20.8 is 51.6. So when we multiply all those together, we get 330 and 24/100 inches squared. So let's take a look at the next example. Still with the trapezoid, and we know the formula is area equals 1/2 times the height times by the base 1 plus base 2. So if we take a look, we know our two bases, 9 and 25. But the one thing we don't know is we don't know what our height is. I'm going to leave that blank right now, but I know my bases are 9 and 25. So with this, we are working with a 30-degree angle. So we can look and say, okay, well, if I create this line, which we know is the same height as over here, which is h, we now form a triangle. We can use trigonometry, like we did in the last unit, to help find what the height is. So to do that, we know that this distance from this corner to here is a distance of 9. So we also know that this one is a distance of 9. So since we know this chunk is 9 and the whole thing has to equal 25, this side is 16, because 16 plus 9 is 25, and we got that first by doing 25 minus 9. So here, using our trigonometry, if this is our degree, we are working with the opposite side and the adjacent. So that means we're working with the tangent, because it's opposite over adjacent, of 30. Opposite side on top, adjacent on the bottom. So when we multiply this out, tangent of 30, we end up with getting the x is 9.24. So that means our height is 9.24. So now we can plug that into our formula and then continue to solve. And we know that 9 plus 25 is 34. So when we finish multiplying this out, we get 157, excuse me, 800 units squared. Let's look at the last example for trapezoids. So in this in this figure, we don't have a trapezoid. Trapezoid has to have two bases that are parallel, which we do. However, it has too many sides. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral, and this has 5 sides, not 4. So what we can start with by doing, say, well, what happens if we cut this figure down that line? Now we end up with a trapezoid on the left side, and we end up with a trapezoid on the right side. So let's call this one trapezoid 1 and this trapezoid 2. So let's look at trapezoid number 1. We want to find the area of that particular figure. So we need the bases and we need the height. Remember, the bases are the two sides that are parallel. So in this one, these are our two bases. So in order to find the distance, we know this is at 1, and this one goes up to 6. So the distance between 1 and 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. Or if you actually were like to count, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this one we're still at 1, but now we go up to 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. Or if you, again, like to count, you're at 1 and you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a distance of 9. So then lastly, we need to know what the height is. And the height, remember, is that perpendicular distance between the two bases. So between our two bases, the only one that creates that 90-degree angle is this height right here. So So it starts at 1, and we're going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a height of 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. So now we have enough information to finish in finding that area. So 1/2 times 5 times by 5 plus 9. And we know that 5 plus 9 is 14. So then 1/2 times 5 times 14 is 35 units squared. So now let's take a look at the other side, this side of the trapezoid. We still know that this is one of our bases because these are the only two sides that are parallel, so that's a base. So we have a base of 9. But we don't know the other base and we don't know our height yet. So if we take a look for our other base, we still start at 1, but now we're only going up to 9. So 9 minus 1 is 8. And like I said, if you like to count, you start at 1, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to 9. So we have 8. So then our height is that perpendicular line that goes between the two bases. So here's our perpendicular line. So if we start at 6 and we go over 3 to get to 9, so it's a distance or a height of 3. So we know the area equals 1/2 times by our height of 3 times by 9 plus 8. So then we go to solve this. 9 plus 8 is 17. So 1/2 times 3 times 17 is 25 5/10 units squared. So we know the area for trapezoid 1 and trapezoid 2, but we want to find the area for the whole shape. So to find the area for the whole shape, we need to add the two together, and that will be 60 5/10 units squared.